controller. Woot! Aha! I found the controller. Oh. There we go. Good morning. I dang near shot. Or I drank a Mountain Dew very fast. So there we go. Maybe okay. Because I don't remember what movie that was, but I remember it was not great. Oh, I like the way you move. Play. Okay. Catfished me. Put that over there. Morning. All right. So now I have to see if I actually have everything. I think I do. I've got the thread I want spooled in. I have 1.5 bobbin. That should be enough for this. I have hopes that this is going to come off now that I think about it. Remember I tell you to test your fabric. This is a new suede from Beauty and Geek. So we're gonna see if that comes off. Yes. Not I don't know where the suede is that I was working with, or I wouldn't be in such a oh dear Lord moment. Actually I might have to find it anyways. Because I need to figure that out too. That might work. Okay, sorry. You know me, I'm in my head. If you've watched for more than 5 seconds at an old video, you know I get in my head a lot. So I've got my iced coffee. Maybe that'll help me turn off my inner monologue. For the pieces, let me turn YouTube. There you go. Yeah, for the pieces, I don't cut them out. I trace one, and then I tape them together, and I'll sew it together, and then I'll cut it to edge coat it. I'm doing something different with the front. I'm adding a pocket. The pocket came out really nicely. So I'm just going to get that set up. So what I'm doing is, instead of a full vinyl body, I am doing part vinyl, part lining. I am using cotton for this, mainly because I have issues with very plain vinyls. I don't like to do a whole bag in it, and I really wanted to do an all vinyl bag. And I have all this beautiful suede that I was sent, and I'm like, I really don't want to. I want to showcase the suede as much as I can. Well, it's such a plain color. It's so plain. So I decided I would make a pocket. Sew that together in a minute. And I put on, and then I've got this this magnet plate from Natural Nerd. So it's this beautiful rainbow book, and it actually says up here, probably smut. So it's kind of like hidden. So you'll get to see me install one of these monsters again. But I'm going to put it on the front of, here it is. I don't know what that noise was, but thank you. So this will be the pocket. And I made the pocket a little bit taller than the lining piece of the Aries modified. So this is a modification of the Aries that Shannon came up with. And then I'm putting a modification on that modification. We have to go deeper. But I'm going to put the magnet probably about there. And I think that's going to be really pretty and add a little bit of color. And then, of course, because you know, I can't just do the bare minimum, and that's still bare minimum. I also put in my bookish era on here, and it's a matte iron-on heat transfer vinyl. Me and my Cricut are not friends. Frenemies would be nice, but we don't get along all the time. I have literally pushed my Cricut off a table, and it may be holding a grudge. So yeah. So we had some fun because, as you can see right here, the lines aren't all the way. Now, it doesn't look bad. It actually looks kind of like it's a faded effect. So I lucked out. But I might be getting a different machine soon. The Caesar, which I mispronounced as scissor. So for the mod, she does have in the Facebook group, she has all the measurements and the directions. I'm not giving any measurements, even to my modifications, because honestly, I didn't do any measurements to my modifications. So for the front, I cut out one front panel. I have stuff everywhere right now. All right, so I'm going to put that there. For the other side, I cut out another of the top lining and a bottom lining. And I'm going to sew those together and top stitch that and everything. And then I cut another bottom lining of my exterior. And that's going to go over the front, as well as a lining for the inside of it. I'm using this really pretty cottage core to kind of mimic that fairiness of it. I really wanted to make sure that all I did was take stuff from my stash. As much as I wanted to go buy some freaking fabric, which, wait, I have to make sure that I've got the right one on the right one. Because I cut this taller, I know I cut one of the other ones taller, and I think I did one of these yesterday. I sewed one up, and it was, we're going to say challenging. Challenging seems like the appropriate word. And yes, this is for the front. Let me mark my center here. Because I sewed the inside and had forgot to put my placard in. So that was fun and exciting. Yes. Yeah, that fits now. Okay. You'll have to excuse me. I've got hiccups today. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, so let's try that again. All right, so front piece. This is going to be, so it'll be like this. And as long as I stitch this right, it should be the same size as the body. What I did on the one I did yesterday is I just cut out blocks, sewed it together, and then cut it out, which is what I really should like fix this to do, but I'll make it work. It'll be fine. I'll put it against the pattern piece and make sure that, because I mean the bottom fits fine. It's just making sure that top works. Okay, so that is the front panel. And then for the inside, I have two bottom linings. I have sticky interfacing, like the self-adhesive fleece. I have not sewn with this yet. I have used it for backing magnets. So we'll see how well this works. I'm going to try not to sew over it because I have heard it gums up your needle, but one of the other strikers said that it worked out really nicely. So this way I don't have to turn the machine back on and everything's interfaced. So inside I have two lower bottoms. Where are you at? Then I have two tops. I love these mushrooms, so I'm going to use that one as my slip. Ow, madre de Dios. Okay, so I need to figure out. Oh, I like I'm rooting for you because that kind of like makes it think of the that test that she had to go through. If you're bookish, then you know you probably have a good idea where I'm going. Aaron told me I was on the fence of whether to do these mushrooms or to do I had one with foxes, a cute pattern with foxes, and I didn't go with that one because I liked the cottagecore feeling of this, and it could go either way then. So if you're not in support of a writer who is problematic, then you won't have to worry about that. If you want to know more, then I'm not going to do that research for you. Okay, so I'm going to put it here, kind of in the middle. Normally I can put it over here. That'll work. So this is a woven label. I'm going to use, I'm doing 3/8. I'm using my sewing blurbs placement ruler to make sure that, because it's got lines on it. So you line up where your seam allowance is going to be onto the edge of your fabric. This purple line is kind of in a safe zone. It's a bleed zone for you. I do still try to go under that a little bit because sometimes the label can shift. But then I'm just going to put that there. And that will remind me that this is going to be the slip pocket side. And it's definitely starting to get into summer, which means I'm going to have to start turning on the fan because I don't like being warm. I'm not a warm girly. I'm not a summer girly. I'm an indoor gremlin who wants to be kept inside with the air conditioning. All right, so I've got that clipped for the slip pocket. I am going to set that aside for the moment. I like to do my lining first anyways. Now, this is going to be I'm adding a zipper pocket back in because it feels like the bag just doesn't have enough pockets and it's a small purse. I might actually try to do card slots on one of them one day because then it could be a carry-all. Because this bag cannot accommodate a large wallet. Oh, I don't want to do that though. So I don't know if I cut tabs. I thought I did, but God help me where everything is. So I might be searching here and there for tabs, or I might be using these scraps here. Why is there? Oh, I did that. Okay. Well, then those might actually work. These are the strap tabs for, well, not these. Definitely not. These are going to have to be recut. They're strap tabs for another bag that I need to finish up that purse for. Okay, so I'm going to use zipper tape. I'm going to keep with that red theme and do this mauve, burgundy maybe, I guess. But this is the color zipper tape. I'm using Rainbow Hardware. Inside, I will be using my bunny tag of a zipper pull. And I'm trying to decide. So I've got a little bit of time for the zipper placket. should I use the fangs? I'm really trying to decide if I want to use these. Because I think it ties in with the whole book thing, with the whole probably smut. You know, I mean, I know I've read some books where fairies have teeth, but who knows? So that's the zipper part of the inside. Then you have your, oh, and I've got a zipper pocket, just like the pattern has it. Then I have the lining gusset, where you'll see the snail when you open your bag. If you're an Adventure Time fan, you'll kind of get that. And then you've got upper gusset pieces as well. Now, if you're not wanting to do, or if you're not really worried about it, you can do the whole gusset for the inside as well. You don't have to do the uppers. The uppers are if you're doing this and you want it to match your zipper placket and your top, because then it kind of creates this whole cohesive look on the top. So lower lining gusset and upper gusset pieces. I have then a full gusset piece that I have interfaced with the self-adhesive fleece. So far, I will say I really like it. It goes on really nicely. It's not lofty. It is a little bit like stiffer, but I think that's going to work better for this because I know Shannon did foam for hers. Morning, Logan. So it still has a nice thickness to it. I think it'll have a nice balance. So, and then I have my zipper plackets. I love the way she has us do the zipper plackets. I might have to change over to this method because I do like it. I have edge coat paint samples from Beauty and Geek. So the this is a fantastic bag if you're a strike artist. This is a very good bag if you're given a lot of different supplies. Like the fleece is from Beauty and Geek. The suede is so soft. Is from Beauty and Geek. And the edge coat paint samples are from Beauty and Geek. So it's a great way. I'm able to use 3 kinds of things on this. Oh, and the interfacing for my fabric, I use Beauty and Geek stiff interfacing. But we've got this lovely red. So I know that's going to really stand out. So I'm going to have to be super careful in how I apply it. Now, where did that vinyl go? Ah! I found it. Okay, so the reason I pulled back out this vinyl is I've got a couple of things I need to cut real quick that for some reason I did not cut out. Other supplies that I have, by the way, besides my machine and thread are my hump jumper. You'll see my new clip because the fairies have not returned my other one. I have, these are actually glass breaking tools. You score the glass and then this helps it break on that line, but they're really great for key fobs as well. Mine are kind of old apparently because I already see a crack in this glue section. But I do that to press seams, to do key fobs and that type of thing. You'll need a mini screwdriver, which I have 2 because I am constantly misplacing one or the fairies are taking it. Let me think. I think that's it, honestly. All right, now I need to try not to destroy everything here. Alright, so I need my baby cutting mat, my roller, and there you are. And my rotary cutter. So I'm going to do a nameplate now. Nameplate backing. Now the thing with my nameplate backings is I do like to do something that is contrasting to it. Like usually I'll do the contrast vinyl on top of the main line or the main vinyl. Oh, those are from Beauty and Geek. She sent them to Strikers to see how well they work. Also, if you're curious about the link to the pattern, you do need the pattern to do the modified pattern. What I will do is before all the lives, I'll go into my link tree and I will change over the setting for today's pattern. I'll write what pattern it is, and then I will also see, this is thin, so I'm thinking I'm going to use a piece of that. I will also link it in. So at any point you want to buy the pattern, just go to my bio, hit my link, and then it'll take you to my link tree and it'll say today's pattern and what it is. Now, I will say I have 3 kinds of edge paint. I have what I call the high end, which is Mojo Sews. Their stuff is very, very good, but it is costly because it is high quality. So you have to remember that. And then I have what I call, besides the samples from Beauty and Geek, I have what I call beginner's edge coat. So I use Fray Check as a base coat. So if you're just getting into edge coating and you're not sure if you're even going to like it, this bag is really, really good for that because it lets you kind of just test the waters. I actually do a little bit of extra edge coating on this one too. So I use for my basic, I'm dipping a toe. I use the edge or the Fray Check stuff from Eileen's because it's got a nice thickness to it. It's pretty much a glue. And then I bought this off of Amazon. I need to put it in my Amazon shop for y'all too. It's acrylic leather paint. And it has a lot of the little pot colors in it. It's got a base coat, but I don't think I've ever used the base coat. That's a preparer and deglazer. So I guess you add this if you want to. Looks like it's been evaporating, so it's probably like an alcohol base. Here's the finisher. But it's got all these colors in it. They mix nicely. It works really well. I haven't had any problems with it. And it's a great way to dip a toe into edge coating. Yeah, the great thing about edge coat paint is that you can mix it. So you can get pots like these, empty pots like these online, and you can mix your own colors and just keep them in this. I think I saw somebody, it might be Amber, the Crafty Reporter. I think I saw her using contact cases, which is really smart too. Okay, so I've got those pieces. Nope, I didn't do these. Hang on. Okay, so this is my I call it my clicker. This is how I round my corners. This is a new one because the fairies hid the other one. So hopefully they're happy because Erin is printing them a Nook and maybe they'll return the freaking bill of sale because we've had to get that ordered. Oh, what are you doing over there? Okay, so shoot, I need those two. That's okay. I'll deal with that when I get to it. So one, it is getting stuffy in here because the cats just have to be outside. Oh, there we go. Oh, sometimes you got to get a stretch on too. All right. So I've got my machine on. First thing I'm going to do is get my connectors sewn together because I want to make sure. Let's see if that'll help you a little bit. Okay. Because I want to get everything started edge coating. For this, I can't find it, but normally I trace the 3/4 inch one and then sew directly on that line. But I couldn't find it, so I just go 1/8 of an inch in. Oh, what am I doing? Rainbow, so I'll need those D-rings. So that's fine. I'm doing a shorter stitch length. It is connecting, but it's not shorter than you would do on a domestic. So I know it'll be okay. Sorry. Today is nail day. I sent her a picture of these really cute apple ones that I really think they're going to be adorable. We just have to, I think, make sure they don't end up looking up like I have little butts on my fingers. So we'll see. I start on the neck of it right here because that's where I can backstitch and it won't look bad. It won't look as noticeable. I do a shorter stitch length because of how the curve looks on here. There's no stickiness to this, but it definitely is that suede feeling. If you haven't sewn with suede, it doesn't like to slide around. So just keep that in mind. It is like butter, though, I will say. All right, come on. There we go. And even though I backstitched, I will go ahead and pull my threads to the back just so that I'm clipping them out of the way. Maybe. So I'm using red thread on tan. Good morning, Belle. I'm working on sewing up the modified Aries. Let's see. I put in my bookish era. And I'm using red thread on this very tan beige suede. So that means every mistake I make will show up. Now, because I have a computerized machine, it lets me do things like one stitch at a time just by tapping my foot. It was definitely one of the reasons why I wanted a computerized industrial machine. I definitely paid for this machine. You're the only one I ever want. Okay, so pulling my threads to the back. I did back stitch so I don't have to tie them off. Come on, there we go. I know what to do. Please forgive me. Maybe today will be the day I remember I need to buy extra lighters. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm going to take my sharpest pair of scissors. And I'm just going to go right along, kind of dancing between using the line I drew and making sure that I'm 1/8 of an inch from the red. If you are not sure about how your top stitching is going to go, then you can use a matching thread, and that will give you a chance to kind of practice to get better at it. So that's how it'll hang. I remember you, yeah. I'm a little low energy this morning, so my apologies. Kind of feeling a little wow. When you're cutting vinyl like this too, if you're not going to edge coat it, make sure that you're using the full length of your scissors and that you don't move it when you're cutting. So when you're cutting, have your scissors completely open, cut down, and then don't move your hand, but open up and push your vinyl forward. And see, that's going to give you a nice clean cut. Because if you cut and then move your scissors, there's a chance you're not going to get in straight into that same section where you were cutting. Okay, so bam. Now comes the fun. All right. Now we get Doc Ops out. You see on YouTube as I throw pieces of it on the ground. Oh, mother of God. Okay. Yep. All right. I'm going to move you up just a moment so you can watch a little bit better. Here we go. Okay. So this contraption is from Mojo Sews. I absolutely adore it. If you get a chance to pick up one, I highly recommend it. Because these little guys move any which way you want. So I'm going to move that for a moment out of the way, actually. I need tools. Where did I put them? Well, poop. Oh, there it is. Okay. I didn't put it away, actually. So you have, so I have a base coat and a top coat. Again, if you are just dipping a toe, for the base coat, you can use Eileen's. I love this stuff. I really do. It's great for this. There you go. And you get a nice large bottle. It works just like a base coat. But what we're going to use is the base coat from, you can use a tool. I actually have gotten away with using a stiletto. But I'm just going to put a base coat on this. So when I'm painting, I always have this, the good side up, the right side up, because I naturally, being with my right hand, and you probably would with your left as well, I hold it at an angle. I don't mean to. It just kind of happens. So this way, it's pushing any um, it's pushing any excess on the bottom. Because this is such a soft vinyl, it is a little difficult to do one layer of this. And when I mean one layer, I mean one layer of the vinyl. Yeah, I should have done that. So hopefully this smooths those out, though. So I forgot to singe the fuzzies. So we'll see how well that comes out. I might have to do a second coat. All right, and then see, I just got it clipped. So before we go any further, even if you're not edge coating, you want to do that. And again, you want to hold it to where the flame is hitting most of the back of it. Come on, yeah. Because see, I singed the back a little bit, but that's not going to matter because the front's what I care about. And I know I just cut these and it doesn't look like there's any fuzzies, but you know what? We're just going to make sure. Because I saw a few sparks, which means there were a few fuzzies. All right. Back. Yeah, it's going on a lot smoother. So if you notice that you're overhanging at all, you want to like wipe that off real quick. Sorry, edge coating is it's kind of just this, it's very soothing to do, but at the same time, it can be a little bit just mind stealing, like thought process is high energy on it. It's very strong. That's what I mean. I don't know what I mean. Okay, so you're going to find that when you go on to something like this, it's a lot easier. You want to make sure that you're kind of looking at it really closely when you do it. because there's a chance that you're going to find gaps where the material is kind of coming apart. That's another reason why I cut it after I sew it. It doesn't shift then, and the cutting kind of gives you a temporary seal. Okay. Come back here, you. And I try to clip it where I think if it does leave marks, it's not going to matter as much, because the clips are very strong. Now, I'm kind of quick about putting the base coat on because I'm not as worried about that. The base coat's just there to kind of glue it together. It's to also give you a foundation, because what everything's going to want to do is it's going to want to absorb. Oh God, right into my hand. It's going to absorb that and give you a place that isn't so porous. Okay, there we go. All right, so we've got that one done. The best part about this bag is it's easy to, I don't feel like I'm using extra time really. I am, but it doesn't feel like it because I'm doing this in between steps. So I've got that all set. I'm going to set that right behind me. And hopefully not forget about it. So I'm going to set my top coat in front of me. That way I remember it. All righty. Make sure I didn't miss any questions. I did not. If I did and I just don't see them, I usually only use one coat. Now, I will say that is mainly because most of the time I use the Eileen's and it's thick and it doesn't usually need more than one coat. If you notice that when you go to put it on your second coat, like touch it. If it still feels really rough, then you're probably going to need another coat. And that's because the vinyl had a backing that was more sponge-like and wanted to absorb all of that. So with that, you definitely want to put a second one on.